Well, we start off our show today with health news. Anthem, Blue Cross Blue Shield offered free mammogram screenings as well as breast cancer. Let me try that again. Breast cancer education, emphasizing the importance of early detection and supporting those affected by the disease. Our BronxNet reporter Chris Camilla has the story.
October spotlight on breast cancer awareness shines brightly here in Hunts Point as a unique health awareness event takes place, bringing valuable information and resources to the community.
It's very helpful. I think it does good for the community. It helps people move along in their life, and the things that we have options. Thank God we have options, because in other countries they don't have that.
Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield's Pink Power Party is an ongoing tradition for the healthcare organization and participating community members. Dozens pass by the pop-up stations outside the Hunts Point building front as representatives and residents alike emphasize the importance of regular breast self-examinations and mammograms. This mobile clinic event is put on 3 times a year by Anthem Health and dedicated partners. However, during the month of October, efforts are being ramped up to get the Bronx community more involved and aware about taking their health seriously.
We've invited our members to come out and get their mammogram screenings done today as part of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We've partnered with St. Barnabas Health Systems, which is one of the local hospitals in the area, to provide these free mammogram screenings for women.
St. Barnabas Health, in partnership with the organizers, offering mammogram screenings and breast cancer health education in their mobile clinic, where they take checkups on the go, here and across the East Coast.
The community needs to be aware that this is important before it gets to the next level, and this is the moment. And thanks to our partner, we're providing free mammograms. It doesn't matter their status, immigration status, it's free for the women who are over 40 years old.
It's a yearly commitment to promoting health awareness and supporting local communities that keeps the healthcare provider active and involved with the Bronx. On Southern Boulevard, Chris Camella, BronxNet Community Television.
And thank you, Chris. In other news, even as the fall settles in, South Bronx residents are still grappling with the intense heat due to the heat island effect, causing urban areas to be hotter than their suburban counterparts. Our BronxNet reporter, Brittany Schuyler, has more details.
Although the fall season is here, residents of the South Bronx are still trying to beat the heat due to the heat island effect, which happens when urban communities are hotter than suburban neighborhoods. One reason for this is lack of tree canopy coverage, causing heat retention by buildings, roads, and other infrastructure.
But the South Bronx has the least quantity of green space per capita than mostly any other community in the city.
This effect results in heat-related illnesses and mortality, increased air pollution levels, increased energy costs, and in some cases, poor water quality. Bronx Borough President Vanessa Gibson, who was joined by Waste Management and South Bronx Unite, says that enough is enough and calls upon the community to get involved.
You don't need a title in front of your name to care about your community. But if you start somewhere by volunteering, imagine what it can turn into.
The South Bronx takes a massive hit with only 15% of tree canopy coverage. Today, advocates are making that change one tree at a time, with another tree behind this one planted just a few minutes ago.
And these trees will provide cleaner air for us, help us be healthier, help our community strive for more healthier outcomes.
All present hope this week's informative session will increase awareness and involvement for a much healthier borough. Reporting for BronxNet, Brittany Schuyler.
And thank you, Brittany. In community news, almost 40% of Bronx residents don't have access to reliable broadband, in large part because the cost of them too high, as well as half not having computer access. Now, the Center for Educational Innovation is hosting a conference addressing the issues of limited internet access in the Bronx and crossing the digital divide. Our Bronx reporter, Kibna Naleen, brings us the story.
The Center for Educational Innovation hosted a conference and book reading for students and staff at Leaders of Tomorrow Middle School, highlighting the powerful role the internet and modern technology plays in achieving academic success.
When I was in school, it was these big block computers, and then it was smart boards and laptops. But for our students today, it's actually leveraging and using technology to learn. It's actually leveraging and using technology to do research. It's actually leveraging and using technology to advance their thinking.
However, in the age of advanced technology, communities across the country face challenges simply gaining access to the internet. Addressing the disparities, Dr. Nicole Turner-Lee created the book Digitally Invisible: How the Internet is Creating the New Underclass.
Whether it was during the pandemic or before, there were a lot of people across, New York as well as across the country that were not connected to the internet to just do basic things.
As technology advances, educational institutions have integrated it into the learning process. Joseph Biernaut, the principal of Leaders of Tomorrow Middle School, tells me more about how the digital divide affects students in the Bronx and how this challenge became particularly evident during the pandemic.
There's tremendous inequities. So what we saw during COVID is we could provide students with devices, but even then they weren't able to get online, or if they were able to get online, it was limited for the amount of time, or they had to fight with a sibling to be on class.
President and CEO of CEI, Michael Colhagen, explains how this effort is just one of many to end the digital divide for families in the Bronx.
Dr. Porter and I share this vision of once and for all ending the digital divide, whether it's with satellites, whether it's using schools as the hubs for each community, whether it's using school buses, whether it's just turning the dial up at the cable company so that more people really do have access. But we're determined to figure that out, and I think this is the right place, and we have the right people at the table to have that conversation.
Reporting for BronxNet, Kibin Aline.
And thank you, Kibben. That is all the time we have for our Bronx updates. We are taking a quick break, but guess what? We have more open when we return.